What if you could hand off your most complicated, frustrating work, the stuff that used to take hours of back and forth, and just walk away? That's not a hypothetical anymore. On April 16, 2026, Anthropic released Claude Opus 4.7, and it's a genuinely significant leap forward. Today we're going to break down exactly what's new, what it means for you, and why it matters. Claude is Anthropic's AI assistant. You might already use it for writing, answering questions, or coding. Opus is Claude's most powerful tier. Think of it as the engine under the hood of their most capable model. Version 4.7 is the newest upgrade to that engine. And the headline improvement? Software engineering. Specifically, the hardest, most complex coding tasks that used to require someone watching over Claude's shoulder the whole time. Now, Opus 4.7 handles those tasks with what early testers describe as, and I'm quoting here, rigor and consistency. It works autonomously, checks its own output, and only reports back when the job is done. 1. It actually follows your instructions. This sounds basic, but it's a bigger deal than it sounds. Earlier Claude models would sometimes interpret prompts loosely, skip a step, paraphrase an instruction, take a shortcut. Opus 4.7 reads instructions literally and precisely. If you tell it to do something a specific way, it does it that way. 2. It can see much better. Opus 4.7 now supports images up to roughly 3.75 megapixels, more than 3 times what previous Claude models could handle. That means it can read dense charts, analyze detailed diagrams, and work with high-resolution screenshots the way a human analyst would. 3. It has a longer memory. In long multi-session projects, the kind that stretch across days or weeks, Opus 4.7 is significantly better at remembering what it learned earlier and applying it to new tasks. Less time re-explaining context. More time actually getting things done. This isn't just Anthropic's internal testing talking. Companies who got early access reported some remarkable things. 𝗬𝗁cie, one of the most popular AI coding tools, said Opus 4.7 cleared 70% of their benchmark tasks compared to 58% for the previous version. That's a meaningful jump. Notion's AI team said it was the first Claude model to pass their so-called implicit need tests, meaning it correctly understood what users actually wanted, not just what they literally typed. And one company reported that Opus 4.7 autonomously built an entire text-to-speech engine in Rust from scratch, then verified its own output by running it through a speech recognizer. Something they described as months of senior engineering delivered autonomously. Now, with more capability comes a real question. What about safety? Anthropic has been deliberately cautious here. They have a more powerful model in limited testing, called Claude Mythos Preview, but they're holding that back until they can build and validate the right safeguards. Opus 4.7 is actually the first model where they've tested a new system that automatically detects and blocks requests related to prohibited cybersecurity uses. Things like helping someone build malware or attack systems. For legitimate security professionals, penetration testers, vulnerability researchers, Anthropic is launching a cyber verification program so those users can still access the full capabilities they need. In terms of overall behavior, things like honesty, avoiding sycophancy, resisting manipulation, Opus 4.7 is a modest improvement over its predecessor. Anthropic describes it as largely well-aligned and trustworthy. A few other things launched alongside Opus 4.7 that are worth a quick mention. There's a new 𝗽𝗍cie effort level, sitting between high and max, giving you finer control over how deeply the model thinks through a problem versus how fast it responds. In Claude Code, there's a new command called Ultra Review, which gives you a thorough expert-level code review, flagging bugs and design issues the way a senior engineer would. Pro and Max users get 3 free runs to try it out. And developers building on the API now have access to something called task budgets in public beta, a way to manage how many tokens Claude spends across a long-running task, so it prioritizes the right work. Opus 4.7 is available right now. You can access it through Claude.ai directly or through Anthropic's API. It's also available on Amazon Bedrock, Google Cloud Vertex AI, and Microsoft Foundry. Pricing is the same as the previous version, $5 per $1 million input tokens and $25 per $1 million output tokens for API access. If you're a developer, the model string is Claude Opus 4.7. Claude Opus 4.7 is a meaningful step forward, not a flashy rebrand, but a genuinely more capable, more reliable model. Whether you're a developer handing off complex projects, a business analyst working through mountains of data, or just someone curious about where AI is headed, this one is worth paying attention to. If you found this useful, hit subscribe. We cover AI tools and developments like this every week. And drop a comment. What's the one task you'd most want to hand off to an AI assistant? I'm curious to hear what you're thinking.